Coming at y'all live again. This time it's from no podcast. Shout out to the Golden Gemz podcast, though. It's from a booth.
Really the main thing.
These rhymes and these words been long overdue. It's been way overdue. But it's okay, though. I'm back now. You just so you want me to change. So you don't want the world seeing your beautiful face. At the end of the day, that's what you're telling me. You don't want the world seeing how beautiful you look. It don't matter what you're wearing, you know. And plus, you was advertising the brand. You know, you the CEO out here. You feel me?
Look, I gave you. Okay, that's fine with my head down, but okay, put another picture up there.
All right. So you hate on my Mother's Day appreciation post. That is what you're telling me right now.
I appreciate your post, but I need another picture up there.
I'm gonna add another picture. Then I got you. I'll go ahead and see what I can do, man.
Take that picture down. Yanni, she just posted. Okay.
Oh, so you like her post better than mine? It's okay. I said, so you like her post better than mine? That's what you're saying.
No, I like both of y'all posts.
Ah.
She put the different pictures up there. I'm like, you gotta get to
I got you. It's all good. I got you. I'll take care of you, man. Happy Mother's Day again. Since it's your day, I guess. I mean, that's the least I can do. I'll see what I can do, man.
Right.
All right, love you. I'll talk to you when you get.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Hey, so yes, welcome back to the Golden Gemz podcast, man. I hope you just enjoyed that little snippet. I'm gonna leave that in there. Yes, my mom just called me, and at the end of the day, she hating on the post I put online for her, man. Like, you know, I'm just trying to show my appreciation to my mother. You feel me? She over here hating, man, saying my sister pretty much had a better picture than I did. Come on now. Do y'all agree with me? Man, go check out my Instagram, man, and go let me know, man, if I picked a bad picture. My mom, she looked beautiful anyway. You feel me? In any picture. You feel me? Like, that's all I was trying to convey to her. Do y'all agree with me? Comment down below, like, share, and yes, we're going to get into this podcast, baby. Yes, welcome back. You here with the one and only Relly. The Golden Gemz podcast, baby. The Golden Gemz podcast, the Golden Gemz podcast, baby. Where you getting and receiving gems all day, every day, man. And yes, you know, that little snippet at the beginning, that was my mother calling me saying that she didn't appreciate my Mother's Day post. But at the end of the day, I'll change it. I'll see what I can do for her, man. But hey, we're going to go ahead and get right into this video. In this video, we are talking about the main topic of our the podcast, man. We talking about generational wealth and how do you build it? How do you attain it? Lately on my podcast, I've just been giving y'all little gems, quotes and also little topics just about life, because I also want to talk about life on this podcast. But now we are going to get to the nitty gritty and we going to really get to the main topic, and that's building generational wealth for yourself, building generational wealth for your family. And really, like, you can build it in any way. Building generational wealth. Hold on, I got you. I'm going to pull up the exact definition for you. Don't even worry. Don't sweat it. Let's go ahead and find the exact definition. Let's see. So the exact definition online on how do you build generational wealth is pretty much it's financial assets such as property, investments, money, and anything with monetary value that you can pass down from one generation to the next. So that is the goal, and that's the key. Pretty much it's creating wealth for yourself, but then also creating wealth for your family and future generations after you pass away and after you leave this earth, ascend to hopefully heaven, if you've been a good kid or a human, you feel me? But at the end of the day, that's pretty much what it is, man. Like, building generational wealth is really, just you, trying to, create assets and gain different kind of assets too, by one, making passive income for yourself. Two, you can be investing in property and different kind of things to where, at the end of the day, it's going to be something sustainable that you can leave to your family and you can have them take care of like the business or anything else, after you're done. Really, how I look at, generational wealth is, it's really creating a legacy, for yourself and creating a set foundation to where after you pass, that legacy and what you did on this earth, it's going to live on forever. It's going to live on longer than you ever imagined, just because you had the willpower and the determination within yourself, to go ahead and leave something behind that was bigger than you. Like at the end of the day, life is, like I always say, it's a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to continue to say that and preach that to y'all. Like, building generational wealth. Hold on. I almost knocked down a mic, but hey, building generational wealth, man, is bigger than yourself, and is really creating a team and a structure and a foundation to where it's going to be sustainable way, 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 way down the road when you're gone, and and all your family have left of you is what you created while you were here on this earth. That's why the last quote that I had put on here by Muhammad Ali is said, make the days count and don't count the days. At the end of the day, is if you making every day count, if you really, setting a foundation for yourself and starting to align the pieces for yourself to kind of take your life forward, you gonna make the days count. You gonna leave behind something that's greater than anything that you can imagine, just because you had the willpower. Hold on, my tie was cricket and crazy, but hey, you feel me? We don't even got to button up all the way. It's all good. We out here living. But back to what I was saying. Hey, it's pretty much you leaving something behind that's going to carry, your legacy on forever and ever. Something that your family can keep going, and you can leave in your family's hands and know that, hey, I created that. Hey, I'm leaving something here on this earth way bigger than me for years and years and years to come. Like, that's why, even with this podcast, like, I hope this podcast is able to, take on a life of its own, and, carry on, for generations, way, beyond my years here on earth. With the whole topic of, golden gems, like, I'm here to give y'all gems on life. I'm here to give you life advice. I'm here to help guide you in building that generational wealth for your family. And that's, getting into real estate, if you haven't done it, or that's, buying that car wash that you've always dreamed of buying and leaving that behind to your family. That's what generational wealth is. Generational wealth is leaving things behind. It's setting up a foundation for yourself and working your ass off for yourself, but then also caring about your family in the later years and being able to leave it to your family. Because at the end of the day, like, we all got a date. We all have a date, and we damn near pass it every year, which is the crazy part. Like, you don't know when your last day on earth is. So that's why it's important for you to figure out your purpose, figure out where you're headed, and figure out what you really want to do. So that way you can leave something behind that's going to be greater than, yourself, and greater than anything you could have ever imagined. If you're taking the time and you really, applying, determination, you're applying hard work, you're applying, just plain cut, just willpower. You feel me? If you having a willpower within your life to continue to go forward, you're going to achieve so much in this life. It starts within you. You have to be the one to set that foundation and start that legacy and set, the routine for your life in order for that generational wealth to come. It's not going to come overnight. That's the one thing I want to tell you. Like, nothing in this life is going to happen overnight. So don't get me wrong. Some people can come and instant star celebrities overnight and things like that. In this world of social media and in this generation, anything's possible, really. But at the end of the day, like, for you, and I want to say for the average individual, you have to really sustain, something long over time and watch it, kind of flourish and become a beautiful, butterfly, where it started out as a caterpillar. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, you can really, continue to take yourself forward and take your family forward by you making the right decisions in your life. It starts with you. That's why my main focus is us as humans and us as people, because at the end of the day, it starts with you. If you want to create generational wealth for your family, how can you do that if you don't really set the foundation for yourself, if you don't really discipline yourself, if you don't, do the things that you say you're going to do, if you always, here or there, and not focus on your purpose and not focus on the things that you're really supposed to do in this life. At the end of the day, if you focus, then everything around you is going to become focused as well. And the people around you are going to get focused because they're going to feed off that energy. your purpose here should be about helping other people. Your purpose here on this earth should be about seeing people smile and putting a smile on people's face or changing people's lives. Like, that's why I feel like, with me, with my new purpose, like for the longest time, my purpose was, individually thought. Like, I had the only focus of myself and, with chasing the NFL and things like that. And I figured that when I make it, then I'm gonna be able to take care of my family and do all those things. And I didn't really spend that much time with my family and things like that because I was always, playing sports. I was always busy. I was always on the road, always doing this, doing that. But now, as I take a step back and as I, examine my life, I'm like, dang, like, okay, like this is, really my purpose. My purpose is to actually, be, voice, I want to say magnified and, take my, my talents that's God gifted me with, and continue to spread that love and joy in other people and continue to, uplift everybody else around me. That's really what I'm trying to get at. It's to uplift people around me and to uplift, because at the end of the day, you can change a person's day just by, saying hello, just by saying, oh, how was your day, and actually caring about how the person's day was. Because you ever get that, you feel me, when you chilling, you minding your business, and then somebody, you walking in the line or you on the phone and it was like, oh, how's your day been today? Oh, how's everything going? How's life? And then, you say, oh, it's okay. And then you just leave it at that. Or you say, no, I asked you how your day was because I really want to know how your day was. I really want to see, you feel me? Like, if you're having a bad day, maybe our conversation could have changed that. If you're having a bad day, maybe me just saying hello to you kind of change your outlook on it. Cause you like, dang, man, people are motherfucking assholes out here. I don't want to fucking talk to nobody. I don't even want to be involved with anybody. But you seen somebody down the road and you like, dang, like, he just said hello to me and that just changed my whole day. Like, dang, I just had a great conversation with a stranger and that just changed my whole outlook on life. I'll tell you this one story. And this is how I know for me and my purpose, like, it's bigger than anything that I can imagine. And God has a big, big plan for me. I just don't know what it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue down this journey and continue down, this beautiful path of life and continue to fall into my purpose in a way. So what the story goes, as the story goes, like I just made it to Arkansas and I'm a big I'm a big Walmart shopper. I ain't gonna lie to you. Walmart, that's been my spot since I was a jit out here. You feel me? Since I was a little boy, I used to love going into Walmart shooting. Me and my cousins, we used to go to Walmart all the time and just spend like an hour, 2 hours in there playing, just riding a skateboard, riding bikes and shit throughout the store, going crazy. I don't know how I didn't get kicked out, but hey, God was with me. But with that being said, like, I went to Walmart this one time when I was at Arkansas playing football, and it was a guy in there, man, and older white male, and he looked like he was like, a little country. He looked like he was like one of them farm, not hillbillies, no disrespect, but he looked like he was one of those farm. He had the cowboy head and everything. And he had overalls on. So I'm like, this shit kind of random. I'm over here. I forgot what I was looking for at the time, but I was looking for something to put on like the walls of my apartment or something. And, I just randomly like said, hello to him as he was passing. And then he said, hey, like, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, what's like, I'm so-and-so. I'm looking for this. I just stopped in the this section just to grab whatever. And we just literally started having a conversation. I told him like, yeah, I play football at Arkansas and things like that. And, we were just talking about life. I'm like, yeah, like these days, you feel me? People just walk past you and just be so caught up in this little device right here, looking down, answering on the phone, and where they just can't even really have human contact anymore. And this was like I said, this was a white male, and he was probably in his, I want to say 60s, man, maybe almost 70. And we two separate parts, two different worlds that we grew up on, two different backgrounds. And me and that guy literally sat and talked for like, I want to say damn near an hour in Walmart, and that's like the thing with me. And like, I don't mind doing that with anybody. Like, if I like you, if I get a good sense or a good vibe for you and we having a great conversation, shoot, I'll talk to you all day if I could. Cause me, I take, advice, and I love hearing advice from older people, because I feel like with age comes wisdom. And I feel like with these, our older people out here, hey, like if you can learn and sit back and listen to them, man, you can hear a lot. And even though me and him came from two totally different backgrounds, the man even had a farm, so I was dang right about the hillbilly stuff. But he wasn't nowhere near like that. But he also, too, had owned his own business, and he was in I want to say he was in the mechanical field, and he worked with his sons and his kids and things like that. And he told me like his whole life story almost. And we were just sitting there conversating and having a great conversation. And like fast forward, like I want to say like dang near like 8 months to almost a year later, me and him ended up, exchanging numbers and contacts. And then like I even went back out there to Arkansas after I left and had lunch and dinner with him. They went to his actual warehouse to where, he works and things like that. And it was a great, experience from us just stopping and just saying hello to each other. Like that's how simple, like, interactions can be with just another person, and you can just click. And this man is 60, 70 years old. He didn't live his life. I'm African American male. He's white. And then this was at the time too where Trump Tower was going crazy. Everything in the world was just seems like it was the shit. And this is where I'm getting at, like us having that conversation. He later told me, like literally later on that day, he was like, man, like I felt depressed and I was, going through like some things emotional, and him having that one simple conversation with me changed his whole day, changed like his whole outlook just on a little bit of life in that moment, from me just saying hello to the man, as we were walking. And that's the thing, like with society, we get away from, just, basic human interaction. Like nowadays, shoot, I try to go into a McDonald's. I love McDonald's breakfast too, by the way. That's the only thing I get from there. But it's like maybe a twice a month type thing when I'm running late for work, or I'm trying to do something, running late to go over here coach the kids. And that's the work I do. Yes, I'm still an entrepreneur out here, but I still got side jobs and stuff like that. I'm always working. But that's the thing, like nowadays they taking away like simple human interaction with just you got DoorDash now, you got Uber Eats. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with those stuff, with those things. But it's like, man, like when is it gonna stop? Like we're gonna really have robots taking over the world out here. Hey, you heard it here first. But nah, like real talk, like I wanted to McDonald's, and like I had to use a kiosk or whatever the little thing is to order. And I felt like, I kind of, oh dang, I messed up my order. I wanted to add something else. And I went up to the register, and he was like, yeah, I'm sorry, we can't take your order here. You got to go back to the kiosk. I'm like, bro, what? I'm in McDonald's. I came in here for a reason. I could have went through the drive-thru, but I don't even got a drive-thru. It was like one of those little pit stops. You feel me? Like with the McDonald's, and I'm like, bro, like hold on, like what you on, bro? Like I came in here and I'm trying to change my order because I just ordered over here on this little kiosk thing, and I came over here to see if you can help me, and now you can't even help me. And it's like, bro, like that's the way our society's going, and all this technology, don't get me wrong, is great. But at the end of the day, like it's taking us away from just basic human things, basic human, activities that we have and that we do on a regular basis. And I'm like, man, like you can keep all that. And going back to the story with the guy, like I changed his whole outlook, from just simply having a conversation with him. And that kind of guided me towards my purpose too, where I've changed so many people's lives just by having conversation. And like when people tell me later on that they were going through, something, going through a hard time, and they just ended up talking to me for like, I want to say 10 minutes or like 5 minutes or however long it was. And they like, bro, you changed my whole day, bro. You changed like my whole week. I was having a rough week. And then just talking to you kind of put me back on track and, kind of, help. And that's how, with me, it was the hardest thing in the world for me to give up playing football. But, I found this other passion, and I found this other lane that I'm in now. And that who knows, how far I can take this podcast and stuff, and who knows how far I can, take my other adventures that I'm in, with, being, I'm actually studying to potentially get my real estate license. We're going to see how that goes. And then also too, I'm in, stocks and cryptos. I'll give y'all a stock shout out right now too. Shout out to my stock that I really, truly, it's been like a baby to me, this stock. It's called NEO. My homie put me onto it in college. It's like the Tesla of China. It's coming out soon. They going to really have a boom. I want to say probably in the next 2 to 3 years. If you don't got the NEO stock, make sure you go ahead and pick it up. I say it's a good stock just for the long-term value. It's going to be eventually be like the Tesla of China. Just look it up and you'll see. And I'll touch on it in later episodes. But like back to with me, getting into this other lane and kind of finding my purpose, it's been a beautiful thing because it's like, I see the impact that I have on others just from me just being a kind, person and just really just being a human at the end of the day. My bad, my computer looked like it was tweaking on me. But yeah, like just being kind and just, being a human and, having, small interactions with people just because I care. I'm like back to what I was saying. I don't ask people how their day is just to get it was okay. No, I want to really know, like, how was your day? Like, did you go eat? Like, are you having a rough day? Like, I really want to know. And like some people, that's a loose-ended question because it's like when somebody tells you how their day was, you really don't want to hear it. And it's like, nah, bro, like if you're going to ask the question, then be prepared for the answer. And that goes to just, how society is going, man. Like society is crazy these days. And it's like people are getting, away from just being, good people, good humans, and just being kind to one another. And it's like sometimes in life, bro, it's the little things that count. It's the little things that matter. And you will eventually continue to learn that and see that. And, it goes with even building generational wealth, even the topic at hand, building generational wealth. You have to somewhat be kind, somewhat be able to interact and, want to help people because that's how you continue to build it. How can you build generational wealth if you're an asshole, if you don't want to be friends with anybody, if you don't want to help anybody win? At the end of the day, building generational wealth is about helping people win. It's about watching the man next to you win just as much as you are, or eventually even become better than you are and how you doing it. You feel me? Like you should want to see other people around you win. You should want to see other people around you get to the same heights and the same level as you, because that is the true definition of a winner. Shoot, how many people want around you? Who else did you bring up with you? You feel me? Like that's the key at the end of the day. Bring other people up with you. Build that generational wealth to where you can leave it with your family. You can leave assets and, all kinds of things. Shoot paintings, shoot cars. Build that wealth up so much that you can leave it behind, and then you can shoot. Maybe one day, when your great grandkids are telling that story about, dang, like who was Billy back in the day, or who was Adam, or who was Brandon, like Brandon did and started all of this stuff, man. And it was just because he was a good person. He worked his ass off and he always cared about people and he wanted to see other people and the people around him win. And I feel like that is a key in life. And when you build in wealth for your family, when you're building wealth for yourself, it's a great thing. And it's something that you really have to take into account of just caring and just being respectful and being kind to other people, because it can take you so far in this life if you just pay attention to the little things and it's not always about, having a big fancy car, driving the latest Bentley or the Mercedes, or shoot, it's not even about having the biggest house on the block. At the end of the day, it's about what can you do for the people around you and what can you leave behind that's going to be bigger than you after you depart from this earth. And I think that's the key with building generational wealth. It's building something and building the legacy that you can leave behind to other people to where they going to be so happy and so satisfied, because it's like, dang, it started with great-great-granddad. It started with great-great-granddad having a dream, having a goal, and look at everything he left behind. Like if you see some of these upcoming millionaires, like I have LeBron on my mind for some reason. Just look at him. He didn't have a father. All he had was a single mother. I said single family. Anyway, all he had was a single mother. And, she was able to help him and see greatness in himself. And he was able to persevere and make it to the top of the mountain. And now look how many people he created. Look how many people he put on around him, and look how many people that's successful around him just because he had the willpower and the strength to create that great routine, to create that great foundation, to create that great team, And now look at how far they've gone. You feel me? And that's from him, setting a set foundation and setting himself up for success. And that's the thing. If you set yourself up for success, now just imagine how it's going to look 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now after you've passed. Like, it's going to be a great thing. And at the end of the day, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Like, if you want to reach the top of the mountain, sometimes, you feel me, you got to go ahead, slip down a few times. But at the end of the day, as long as you keep climbing, you're going to get to where you want to get to. You're going to get and be able to build that generational wealth for your family. You're going to be able to leave a legacy behind and something behind that's greater than you. So at the end of the day, I want y'all to stay blessed out here, stay humble, stay hungry, and continue to get all the blessings that y'all got coming to you. Stay blessed. And hey, guess what? We out.